Hello guys, welcome to NXBT new video. And in this video, I'm gonna give you an update on the price of Bitcoin. Today is Monday, early Monday, and we just had another Bitcoin weekly candle close. So as you can see, Bitcoin broke our downward channel to the downside. You can call this a beginning, the beginning of the break to the downside, although this is not a confirmation, it's just a break. Of course, this week there's just hoping is going to determine whether this is going to be, there's going to be a continuation to the downside. So meaning that instead of breaking to the upside like we were predicting, Bitcoin got rejected so far, and we can, and we know why Bitcoin did not manage to break to the upside. As we've been analyzing this major upward channel, we know that Bitcoin is being finding resistance exactly at the middle of this upward channel. What is happening at the moment is just a result of a bigger market structure that Bitcoin is failing to break to the upside. In this case, we can see that failing to break this the middle of this channel to the upside cause Bitcoin to lose momentum and fail to achieve our Fibonacci level that was on the other half of this major upward channel. So meaning if the price cannot go above the middle of this channel, that means somehow we're gonna have to consolidate or retest lower levels. In this case, the level that is actually currently, close to reach is the 77,000 level again. And this, of course, is not ideal, and we know why. But like I mentioned in previous update, the DXY is already red, is already red. The DXY is already red on the super gap indicator for a very long time. And this red period in previous cycle signal an acceleration and a break of the middle of this upward channel to the upside, where Bitcoin finally topped in previous cycle. This happened in 2020, and of course, it also happened in 2017, where the DXY staying red for a longer period of time allow Bitcoin to break the middle of this upward channel and top exactly at the top. So having this constant resistance and staying red for a very long time, I think that this indicator is one of the best indicator for Bitcoin at the moment as this market matures. I think some of the early indicator are actually lagging, actually track the Bitcoin movement, and especially tops or major acceleration. So we noticed that this, as you can see, this bull market was a very bumpy bull market. The market is not as volatile as it used to be. You can see that this kind of movement with a constant uptrend is what most people are expecting. This is what most indicators were tracking for Bitcoin, which basically measure basically tracking constant gains and easily being able to predict tops. But because of this market movement, the Bitcoin market is maturing and is adopting a very different market movement, so it's moving slower with more consolidation, and some indicators actually lagging to actually predict tops in this market. But this DXY combination or relationship with Bitcoin is likely to be more in line with what actually happened to Bitcoin price, or where we can see major correction. At the moment, I think that's the case because we can see that the DXY is red for a very long time, and we are actually coming to the test. Most likely, it's not a confirmation yet, but you can see that we are coming to most likely having to come and retest the 77,000, which is not ideal, but this could be the beginning of the bear market. So DXY and Bitcoin ratio, for that reason, having Bitcoin breaking 110,000 level and our downward channel, you can see that the ratio is closed for the first time above the 50-week moving average. This never happened since we started this bull market. You can see why I think retesting, breaking this downward channel to the downside and losing this 110,000 level, and because Bitcoin is red, the DXY, because the DXY red for a very long time, this is likely to be the beginning of something much worse, or if not the bear market, as you can see confirmation that the ratio is always also closed up above the 50 level, the 50 week moving average. So the RSI is far above the 50 level. This is another indication that something is not right, and this correction could be the beginning of something much worse. So the total two, you can see the total two, of course, as Bitcoin is losing momentum, you can see that the total two is now, just close below the 50 weekly moving average again as well. So another sign of bearishness. You can see that the RSI also broke the 50 level to the downside. This confirms that the altcoins are bleeding against Bitcoin. You can see it's not a surprise to see the altcoins having to lose after this rejection, coming to close below the 50 level, as Bitcoin is actually closing weekly candle below the 110,000, and especially below our down channel. Bitcoin dominance, you can see the Bitcoin dominance. For that reason, I mentioned on our previous update that we would see the dominance below the 60, as you can see, as Bitcoin is losing momentum and the altcoins are doing the same thing. So we're basically averaging themselves. So there's no gains in the market. There's just a correction everywhere, Bitcoin and altcoin. So therefore you're going to see the dominance consolidating and staying below this level until Bitcoin makes a major decision, or unless we start an up season where we can see this the Bitcoin dominance going below or breaking the middle of this upward channel to the downside, and this would actually prove that show a opportunity to invest in altcoin, as they are all bleeding against Bitcoin at the moment. You can see crypto fear and greedy index, a very interesting signs. You can see the market is in extreme fear for a very long time, and yesterday extreme fear reached actually 10, which is unusual, because when you have extreme fear at 10, usually the market tends to reverse, and at least to have a kind of dead cat bounce or a quick gain just before it resumes back. So basically, having this kind of closing below or breaking this downward channel, you could see this week recovering a little bit just to get rejected again, or at least to close another candle inside or inside this channel, and this could be a bullish sign. Of course, like I said, this break is not a confirmation yet. This candle, the second candle this week, we're gonna have a confirmation. If this candle goes above um, inside this channel again, that means there's a possibility to recover. Otherwise, if it just retests the bottom of this downward channel and keep pushing downward, then this is a confirmation of the break to the downside and probably beginning of the bear market. So having this fear, we're gonna have to keep an eye on the fear. As the market is really extremely fearful, then so this is something to keep an eye on, and I will definitely keep you guys updated on these as we go, or at least next week. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.